Love, murder, and betrayal, major themes in country music, are also the key ingredients to an ongoing series of poltergeist reports at Bobby Mackey's Music World, a popular honky-tonk in Wilder, Kentucky, across the river from Cincinnati, Ohio. Country singer Bobby Mackey opened the club in 1978. His wife, Janet, pregnant at the time, was apprehensive about the move. When she first saw the building, she sensed a malevolent force.
I was hesitant about even wanting a nightclub to begin with. But when I saw that door open by itself, that freaked me out. But when we got inside, the lights kept coming on and off by themselves, and I could hear people talking.
Shortly after the Mackeys began renovation of the club, Janet claims she was physically attacked by a ladder.
And here comes this ladder. It was like somebody walking right toward me. And then when it got almost right directly toward me, in front of me, it started falling toward me. And then when it did, Carl grabbed me and jerked me out from under it, and it fell.
And if I hadn't stopped and done what I'd done, got her out of the way, that ladder had marched up and actually tipped over by itself. I could not find an explanation for that. I know there was something evil here.
In the 1930s, a woman named Johanna committed suicide here after the murder of her lover, a singer named Robert Randall. Local folklore held that she haunted the building, searching for her slain lover. Intrigued by all the reports of this evil presence, author Doug Hensley began researching the Mackey story and discovered information about club owner Bobby Mackey, linking him to the ghost of Johanna.
When Bobby Mackey was born, his mother named him Randy Mackey, not Bobby Mackey, Randy Mackey. His baby book today still says Randy's baby book on it. She suddenly changed his name to Robert Randall Mackey.
Janet Mackey was terrified that Johanna's ghost thought her husband was Robert Randall reincarnated, and that Johanna could be jealous enough to do harm to Janet. While cleaning the upstairs apartment, Janet heard voices telling her to get out of the building, then felt invisible hands push her to the top of the stairs.
So I struggled and pulled, and I got loose from it, got to the top of the steps, and I was at the top of the steps. I was pushed down them, and I grabbed the rail as much as I could going down, because I was, like I said, I was pregnant. Protect myself, and I fell flat down on the bottom, looked up, and I saw some kind of an image. I couldn't tell if it was really a person or what it was. I couldn't tell.
Carl Lawson used to reside in the upstairs apartment where Janet was allegedly attacked, and he has his own recollections of mysterious happenings during the time he lived there.
We used to have a jukebox. We'd unplug it. And I can remember on occasion being upstairs, almost sound asleep, and this real old song, Anniversary Waltz, would come on. And there's nobody in here. And I come downstairs to check everything out. The jukebox was unplugged, but I know what I heard upstairs. Anniversary Waltz. It was always that same song.
Despite the disturbing ordeals reported by Janet and Carl, Bobby Mackey insisted that there were no such things as ghosts.
I had every dime I had stuck into this place, and I had to make it work, and I didn't want any silly ghost stories going around, keeping people away from here. I wanted positive things, not negative things, and I was, country music is my life, and I don't want to hear about no ghosts, just be quiet.
Janet Mackey remained steadfast in her belief that something dangerous lurked in the shadows of Bobby Mackey's music world.
When I was by myself, that's when I was really, really scared. But now I can feel it in the air. I can feel her tension around me. I can feel her, her vibes and stuff like that. I can tell she's around somewhere, and she doesn't want me around.
Inspired by Janet's obsession with the ghost, every night, Bobby performs his biggest country hit, Johanna.
Johanna, Johanna, are you really here? Looking for a lover after all these years.
Johanna is not the only ghost said to be haunting the club. One of northern Kentucky's most notorious murders took place near the site. In 1896, two men, Alonzo Walling and Scott Jackson, killed Scott's pregnant girlfriend, Pearl Bryan. They allegedly buried Pearl's head in the basement well, perhaps hoping it would be washed out through the drain and into the nearby Licking River. Legend held that the ghosts of Alonzo, Scott, and Pearl could be heard walking and arguing throughout the club. Bobby Mackey's chief of security thinks he once heard one of their arguments while investigating a possible burglary with a fellow officer. Sensing voices coming from behind the stage, he moved in to see who was there.
So the officer on the left got up on stage, went through the door. I came to the right, went through the other door. We checked. There's no one behind that stage.
Ever vigilant for reports of the ghosts, Larry was on duty at Mackey's one night when local resident Rich Lawson came to dance. The night Rich unexpectedly became part of the legend.
So I was tightening my collar clips up to make sure they would not come off on the dance floor. And I was just humming and singing. I was just real hyper and real primed and ready to dance. And a garbage can right beside the wash basin was sitting there, and it took violently off and slammed right up against the partition wall of the commode. And I turned around real violently, wondering who's gaming with me or what's going to happen.
What Rich saw shocked him. There before him stood the image of a man dressed in clothes from the turn of the century, complete with handlebar mustache.
He never hit me, never punched me or nothing. But the bathroom was so hot, I was just trying to gasp for breath, and I was trying to get out of this bathroom, and I made it to the hallway in the bathroom. And I just got so weak, and I went completely unconscious.
Larry Hornsby heard the commotion and found Rich's near lifeless form on the floor. When Rich awoke, he was terrified.
He said he seen a figure and of a man wearing a big trench coat, like back in the old days, a mustache.
When shown photos of Alonzo Walling, Rich recognized him as the man he had just seen. Even more frightening, he recognized the face of someone else in a photo of Alonzo and Scott's hanging.
On the gallows in 1897, there's a judge and a preacher. I take my hat off, I resemble that preacher standing on the gallows holding the Bible.
Though Rich continued to be haunted by his experience, and he is aware of some kind of danger at Bobby Mackey's, he refuses to back down.
I got this feeling that the evil here wants me away. I'm intruding on them or something like that, and they're trying to push me away. I'm not going to leave, because I love country music, and Bobby Mackey's a great country music singer, and I'm a danceaholic. I love to dance.
While Rich thought he was a target of malicious intent, Larry Hornsby felt it was his destiny to help save Rich and the others at Bobby Mackey's from Alonzo's angry ghost.
So what my theory is, he wants me out of here. He'll do anything possible to get me out of here. But, like I said, he's evil, I'm good, and we're battling each other.
Janet Mackey, however, was certain that strange occurrences at Bobby Mackey's music world targeted her and her alone.
I think it's a personal thing. I really do. Nothing's ever happened to Bobby. Nothing's ever happened to my children. It's just me. As far as family, Other people, yeah. But I'm talking family. Nothing's happened to my girls. Nothing's happened to him. It's just happened to me. So therefore, I feel that they're just after me.
The regulars at Bobby Mackey's all felt that they were part of a struggle between good and evil, and they turned to a psychic to confront the evil poltergeist. When confronted by poltergeist activity, most people feel helpless and misunderstood. For people at Bobby Mackey's music world in Wilder, Kentucky, the battle had become intensely personal, and they turned to a psychic for help.
I was born with psychic abilities and with the gift of healing. I have clairvoyance, which means that I can see visions or images, and I can hear spirit talking to me, which is clairaudience.
Bodine claims to have established contact with 4 major ghosts: the 2 pregnant women, Johanna and Pearl O'Brien, and Pearl's killers, Alonzo Walling and Scott Jackson. Echo's first visit was particularly unnerving for Janet Mackey.
We were sitting in the casino room, which is now the bull room, and she looked at me and she goes, I see Johanna behind you. And I thought I would die. I said, now you gotta be kidding me, right? No, she's standing right behind you.
3 years after that terrifying first visit, Echo is still able to converse with the ghosts at Bobby Mackey's.
We're going to go talk to Scott and Pearl, see if they'll go too. And even if they don't, I think you should just let Alonzo take you by the hand and take you over to the other side with him, okay? I'm standing right over there. Pearl, listen to me. Listen to me. Nope, she won't. Scott, can you listen? You guys do not have to stay here. No, you do not have to stay here.
After these conversations, Echo is drawn to the basement well, which according to local legend is a portal to hell.
You want to say there was weird things that happened in here to people, women. Not very good things. A lot of real crazy thinking. A lot of crazy behavior went on in here.
I believe that's like a vortex. I believe whatever evil comes through here, it comes right out of there right from hell. I believe that's an entry point. I believe if that well was dug up, we'd find a lot more, evidence of a poltergeist type of activity.
In an effort to relieve the worried minds of the Mackey owners and patrons, Echo tried to convince the ghost to leave. The psychic claimed that 2, Johanna and Alonzo, said they were willing. Echo performed what she calls a cleansing, claiming to exorcise the building of Johanna and Alonzo.
I'll tell you what they are saying. Okay, Alonzo, yes. You still want to go to the other side? Yes. Okay, so you're really clear that you want out of here? Yes.
Even though at least 2 ghosts remain behind, reports of poltergeist activity have diminished at Bobby Mackey's since Alonzo and Johanna departed. But their legacy still haunts the place, if only in the plaintive chorus of Bobby's song. What do the people who report poltergeists at Bobby Mackey's have in common?
It sounds as if there were 3 different personalities reacting to the same stimuli. They each had a different agenda, but they were all in a mental state to attract poltergeist activity. Most people do not realize how powerful their emotions are. And our emotions create energy fields around us all the time. I think that what is called poltergeist activity is, most of the time, spirits interacting with people on the earth.
Psychologists note that people's emotions and perspectives can produce delusions, not demons.
You have to look at the background of the people having these experiences. A security guard that has that responsibility is going to feel a personal obligation to rid a ghost or a poltergeist from the premises. It's his job. He's a security officer. It's not just the ghost is after anyone, but I have a link. I have a special relationship with this ghost. And that just makes you look for more evidence of the same. It's almost acting like a delusion.
Throughout this case, you have this notion that everyone is involved in this in an important way. So in a sense, it's a story about people asserting their self-importance.
Keep seeing him.
Even Echo Bodine acknowledges that poltergeist activity can be psychologically motivated.
People need some attention, yeah. Oh yes, you can go into a home and people will say, oh, the ghost is doing this to me and this to me and this to me. And you walk around the house and there's absolutely no ghost there at all. But it's maybe her only way to get her husband's attention, or the child's only way to get attention from their parents. So what we do is we just say there is no ghost here.
Another explanation for the supposed poltergeist activity could be the building itself.
This building, though, is set up very nicely to hear sounds from a long distance away. The very large open pit in the basement opens into a drain under the railroad and over to the river. This drain provides a very nice path for sounds to come in. And it would be very possible for someone to be talking a long way away, maybe even miles away on a quiet day, have the sound reflect off something on the other side of the valley and be picked up like a microphone by this pipe and funneled into the building.
When a building such as the Mackey Club is constructed piecemeal over the years, its internal systems may be adversely affected.
You could have lots of problems with the wiring, that when you plug in something new, it spikes the whole system and you have a drop in the lighting, or the lighting will flicker.
As for Bobby Mackey, all that matters to him is his music and the home he has created for it. To Bobby, stories of poltergeists at his club are just that, stories.
I just can't believe that happens. I just really don't believe that happens. I don't know if anybody can have that big of imagination or not, but there's got to be an explanation for it, other than the supernatural.
Bobby Mackey may discount the supernatural outright, but others find themselves obsessed with finding out the true origin of these strange phenomena.